They told her she was a child of shame, picked up from a dustbin in the village. For 18 years, Ada worked as a nameless maid in her aunt's mansion, eating the scraps left behind by her 3 cousins, who called her the village rat. She watched them wear the jewelry that belonged to her late mother while she wore rags. But yesterday, a stranger arrived from the village with an old, rusted key and a confession that will shake the foundations of this city. That village rat they've been kicking, she isn't just a maid. She is the rightful owner of every brick, every car, and every kobo this family spends. The lion has been sleeping in the kitchen, but today she is waking up to reclaim her throne. In the highbrow estates of Abuja, there was a house known for its beauty, but inside, it was a prison. Mrs. Gladys was a widow who lived in luxury with her 3 daughters, Pearl, Ruby, and Diamond. They were known as the Gem sisters, but there was a 4th girl in that house, Ada. Ada was the daughter of Gladys' late brother. When Ada's parents died in a mysterious fire 20 years ago, Gladys took the child in. But she didn't take her in as a niece. She took her in as a slave. While the Gaines sisters attended international schools, Ada was at home, scrub brushing the expansive compound. While the sisters wore Italian silk, Ada wore the hand-me-down uniforms of the maids they had fired. Gladys told everyone, including Ada, that her father was a gambler who died in debt, and that Gladys was doing God's work by taking Ada off the street. Ada, Gladys would scream, her voice echoing through the marble halls. Why is Pearl's breakfast cold? Do you think because you share my brother's name, you are equal to my daughters? You're a charity case. Go and wash the dogs. And make sure you don't use the good soap. Pearl, the eldest cousin, was the cruelest. She would purposefully drop her expensive earrings in the toilet and make Ada fish them out with her bare hands. Look at her. Pearl would laugh, filming Ada for a TikTok video. The village girl trying to touch gold. Stay in your lane, Ada. Dirt belongs in the ground. One humid afternoon, while the family was preparing for Pearl's 21st birthday, a party that cost 50 million naira, an old man appeared at the gate. He was dressed in traditional village attire, dusty and tired. He was Papa Azu, the oldest elder from their village. Gladys saw him through the security camera and hissed, "What is this village nuisance doing here? Ada, go to the gate and tell that old man to leave. Tell him I don't give alms to beggars." Ada ran to the gate. But when she saw Papa Azu, something in her heart stirred. She recognized him. He was the man who used to give her biscuits when she was a tiny child, before her parents died. "Papa Azu," Ada whispered, tears springing to her eyes. The old man looked at her, his eyes filling with sorrow. "My daughter, look at you. They have turned the daughter of a king into a carrier of water. I have been looking for the strength to travel this distance before I joined the ancestors. I have something for you. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small dirt-caked iron box. Your father didn't die in debt, Ada. He was the wealthiest man in the 7 villages. He left a will, and he left the deeds to his city properties with me. Your Aunt Gladys didn't rescue you. She stole you. She took your inheritance and claimed it was hers. Before Ada could respond, Gladys marched out to the gate, her face twisted in rage. Old man, what lies are you whispering to my servant? Get out before I call the police. She grabbed the small iron box from Ada's hand and threw it into the drainage. She pushed Papa Azu to the ground and dragged Ada back into the house, locking her in the storeroom. The night of the party arrived. The mansion was filled with senators, businessmen, and celebrities. Gladys was glowing, showing off her wealth. She had let Ada out of the storeroom, only to serve drinks. Don't say a word to anyone, Gladys warned. If you mention that old man, I will make sure you end up in the bush where you belong. As Ada walked through the crowd, with a tray of champagne, she saw Pearl wearing a necklace that looked familiar. It was a heavy gold locket with a unique carving of a lion. Papa Azu had told her through the storeroom window, the lion locket is the key to the vault. Your father wore it the day he died. Ada felt a surge of courage she had never felt before. She realized that every sip of wine these people took was paid for by her father's blood. Every dress her cousins wore was stolen from her future. Suddenly, the music stopped. A lawyer stood up to give a toast to Pearl. To the heiress of the great Igwe lineage, he said. Ada dropped her tray. The sound of breaking glass silenced the room. She is not the heiress. Ada's voice rang out. It wasn't the voice of a maid. It was the voice of a woman who had found her soul. Gladys rushed forward, her face pale. Ada, you are drunk. On the fumes of the kitchen. Security, take this girl out. Wait, a voice boomed from the entrance. It was Papa Azu, but he wasn't alone. He was with 2 men in dark suits, lawyers from a prestigious firm in the city. They were holding the iron box Gladys had thrown in the gutter. Ada had snuck out and retrieved it before the party started and gave it back to the old man. The lead lawyer stepped forward. Mrs. Gladys, we have been looking for the daughter of the late Chief Igwe for 10 years. You filed a death certificate for this girl in the village, while keeping her as a slave in the city to avoid the trust fund's oversight. The crowd began to whisper. Gladys tried to laugh it off. This is a joke. My brother was a pauper. The lawyer opened the box. Inside was a birth certificate, a DNA test from Ada's infancy, and the original will. The will states that all assets, including this house, are held in trust for Ada Igwe. It also states that if Gladys ever mistreated the child, she would be evicted with nothing. Ada walked up to Pearl. She didn't hit her, She simply reached out and unclipped the gold lion locket from Pearl's neck. This doesn't belong to a gem, Ada said firmly. It belongs to the village rat. The transformation was instant. The senators and guests, who were laughing at Ada moments ago, now turned their backs on Gladys. In the world of the rich, once the money is gone, the friends disappear. The lawyers informed Gladys. She had 24 hours to leave. Can you imagine the irony? The Gem sisters had to pack their expensive bags into a small Uber, heading to a one-room apartment in a part of the city they used to mock. Gladys, the proud widow, was left to face a court case for child labor and estate fraud. But Ada didn't sell the house. She turned it into a foundation for orphaned children. She went back to the village with Papa Azu. She built a school and a hospital in her father's name. She proved that you can take a girl out of the palace and put her in the kitchen, but you can never wash the royalty out of her blood. Never join others to maltreat the orphan. Never assume that because someone is down today, they will not rise tomorrow. The hand that washes the pots today might be the hand that signs your termination letter tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who is going through a hard time. Until next time.